Hello to you. My name is Frank Woodley and you're watching Torrent This.
Frank Woodley, thank you very much for joining us here on Torrent This.
Absolute pleasure.
Backstage at the gala.
Yeah, this is actually my dressing room.
This is the dressing room.
This is what I demand. This is the standards I demand. I say, I'm not coming down unless I get pillars. Roman pillars.
And we've got them.
Yeah. No, we're at the Palais, which is an amazing old theatre in St Kilda. Absolutely beautiful.
Just over the road from Luna Park.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely
I did a show once where my dressing room, just Luna Park reminded me, my dressing room was outside. It was at a Spiegel tent. And my dressing room was outside, and there was a fairground just next to the Spiegel tent there. And I'd kind of disregarded that, and I was just concentrating. And I came out of my dressing room one night, just with a towel, completely naked, and I hear, "Wee!" And there were some kids on a Ferris wheel that went up above the fence. It's going, Woodley, your penis is smaller than I imagined. I said, what are you doing, spending time imagining my penis? For starters.
Well, absolutely.
My penis is. I love my penis. I absolutely love it. But it's not massive. Like, it's actually very small. But I think there's too much concern about that sort of thing.
But really, is it enjoyed by others?
It's enjoyed by others.
That's
Because I think there's too much concern about that. Like other parts of the body. Not if somebody's got big hands, you go, great, big hands. But if they've got little hands, you go, great, little hands. You don't. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think of my penis actually like the hands of a concert piano player, like quite thin and elegant, but the means by which I express myself with great passion and creativity.
Through the penis?
Yeah, through the penis, that's all. I sometimes play tunes with it as well, but that's another story.
It's been a few years now since you and Colin parted ways.
Yep.
Was that hard to do?
It was, and I've finally cracked, because I felt a bit awkward on stage, but because the technology has finally caught up, I haven't... Have you seen those real dolls? Have you seen real dolls, which are like sex dolls that are but incredibly lifelike looking real dolls? Mm-hmm. Well, I've had a real doll of Colin made, and I've got the absolutely state-of-the-art robotic technology involved as well. So now, I don't want to be rude, but my new Colin Mark II is ever so slightly more talented than the original Colin. Like, I don't want to... That sounds a bit harsh, but...
I'm sure Colin will agree.
No, me and Colin are still very good friends, We had dinner on Saturday night, not together, but you've got to eat, and it's baby steps.
That's right.
Ultimately,
So he was on the other table?
He wasn't even in the same room. He was at home and I was at my home. But eventually we'll slowly make our way to, We both ate.
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
Got to eat.
You do.
It's the new show, Fool's Gold.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's really just an eclectic, bunch of disparate ideas cobbled together that hopefully give the audience a sort of a pervading sense of, I don't want to go now away from that. Sort of, I don't know what the opposite of that is, but kind of, I'm enjoying, thanks for doing that, or something, I don't know. There's no great theme, there's no great narrative. There's a few little things like bullying is kind of a bit of a running joke, and also I talk a little bit about what is appropriate to talk about as a comedian, because I do a little thing where I tell a story about being on a crocodile tour, and there being a tourist on the boat who's got an Indian accent, and he yells something out, and it's quite funny in the Indian accent, and then I do the Indian accent, and then I discuss whether or not that's really... Is that bullying for me to do an Indian accent, or am I celebrating diversity, or, what... That whole accent issue, I kind of, fiddle around in there, and then that question of what is funny to talk about kind of bobs up a few times in the show.
So what is appropriate for comedians to talk about?
Well, that's exactly the question. I mean, someone was saying before, if it's funny, that's... But I reckon I don't agree with that conceit at all, because clearly bullying, when there's a group of bullies around and they're teasing someone, they might all laugh and you go, well, that was horrible what you were doing. They go, well, that was funny. Using Seinfeld's rationale, if it's funny, it's acceptable. Well, that was hilarious, when I picked up the little kid and threw him into the wire fence. I said, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if it's funny, I don't agree. Personally, I think I'm coming to this. This is not. I don't have a joke here or anything. This is just me thinking about.
Yeah.
I think it's ultimately about making sure that the audience can kind of feel that you're not trying to make anybody suffer in your comedy, whatever you're doing. You're trying to alleviate some of that suffering, and if they sense that. But then, of course, that's all subjective. One person will say, no, I felt like he's got a heart of gold. Another person will go, that was a cheap laugh at the expense of this group of people who, were born without a nose or something, So it's impossible to really pin it down, but it's a lovely little game trying to work it out,
Absolutely. Where can we catch you through the Comedy Festival?
I'm performing at the Melbourne Town Hall, so in the Lower Town Hall actually, which is a lovely venue there, and come along if you want. If you don't. It's really, you're old enough to look after yourselves now. I can't be there to hold your hand for the rest of your life. At some point you've got to start taking responsibility for your own decisions, but
That's right.
Certainly like to encourage you to come and
Enjoy the show.
enjoy the show.
Plenty of penis jokes?
There's I don't think there's a single penis joke in this show.
Not a single penis joke.
If you don't like penis jokes, come along. If you love them, if that's what you live for,
Watch the interview.
probably watch the interview, but stay away from the show.
Frank Woodley.
Thank you very much, Cal. Good on you.